Governor Mike Huckabee, you're known as supporter of the State of Israel. First of all, a bit about the feelings being again part of this support, this endless support.
Well, you know, for me it goes way back to my teenage years. My first trip to Israel was 1973 when I was 17 years old. I fell in love with the country then, and I've been to virtually every country in the Middle East, literally from Egypt all the way to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. But there's a unique kind of spirit that exists in Israel. I know what that spirit is. I believe it's God. There's no other explanation for Israel. But it's a special place that I believe is the embodiment of freedom, of liberty, of people who are seeking to find a place of refuge from the hatred, from all of the intent to destroy them. And it really, for a civilized world, it becomes an important part of making sure that people who want to live in peace and freedom have the opportunity to do that.
Now, you're related to the policy of the current administration is against sanity.
Yes.
So first of all, how do you understand what we're seeing, the really sometimes anti-Israel sentiment?
I can't explain why there is the harsh anti-Israel sentiment that exists in this administration or in parts of Europe. If anything, Europe should feel an extraordinary sense of responsibility for having looked the other way when the Nazis did everything they could to destroy the Jewish people. And they bear a lot of that guilt for having just allowed that to happen without intervention, and in some cases giving tacit approval. So the last thing that the Europeans can afford to do is to engage in a new level of anti-Semitism, which we see today in an unprecedented and in a frightening way. So any of us who have studied history should know that we've seen this movie before, and it does not end well. So before it gets there, some of us who understand that standing with Israel is, I believe, tantamount to standing with what God wants us to do, we have to take an unapologetic commitment to saying we will stand with Israel for their right to a secure and a safe homeland.
Now, you related, of course, to the Iranian threat. Do you think that we're going to see Israel attacking America, maybe not even supporting an Israeli attack?
If I'm president, I assure you that that would not be the case. But I think if the Israelis were under attack right now, I'm not sure what this president would do. I know what he did when they were under the attack of Gaza, and he tried to create some kind of equivocation in saying both sides need to hold back. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's only one side here that's the aggressor. Israel did not aim targets intentionally at civilians and babies and children, but Hamas did. And for us to say that it's the same, it's not the same. Israel has taken a defensive position to protect itself. The terrorists have taken an offensive position to destroy Israel. That's very different.
Now, in terms of the negotiations with the Palestinians or the Arab countries, how about the two-state solution? What is your opinion on that?
Well, the two-state solution, if we mean two governments holding the same piece of real estate, is irrational and unworkable. And I think it's time for us to quit playing this pretentious game that there's going to be a two-state solution where both sides share the same country and real estate and streets, because they're not. One of the sides, the Palestinians, continue to say that Israel doesn't have a right to exist. You can't forge an alliance with that. So if there is a two-state solution, the Palestinian state needs to be outside the boundaries of the nation of Israel. There's plenty of land in the world that we could find a place and say, okay, let's create a Palestinian state, but not within the confines of a secure Israel.
One more topic that is considered, of course, gentle, complicated, complex, the issue of Jonathan Pollard. What can you say? What is your statement today regarding this issue?
Jonathan Pollard has certainly served long enough. There's no purpose being served to the United States to keep him incarcerated. His health is bad, and I think the time has come for us to recognize that he's paid a price and he needs to be allowed to go to Israel and spend the rest of his days there.
This is your first time here at this concert. What do you say about this big show?
Well, it's an amazing celebration of Israel and a celebration of the really alliance between America and the people of Israel. The enthusiasm, the vast crowds, all are a reminder that Anyone who thinks that the United States is abandoning its support of Israel, obviously they weren't in Central Park today, because they would find out that there is strong, passionate sentiment to stand with the state of Israel.
So last but not least, are we going to see you soon in Israel?
I hope so. I've been going so many times that I've been once already this year and hope to be back a time or two more.
Great. So we'll see you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks very much.